Hey guys, welcome back. Today I'm going to be covering my match in the Vega Battlegrounds Championships Grandmaster Cup against my good buddy BMcG. Leave a link to his channel down in the description, really good dude, it's definitely worth checking out. Now this one I was kind of worried about because this meta for the victory track and friendlies is very mean. To me, it's definitely a bit too much, but I can see where they were coming from with it. Something a little bit more challenging. I'll say challenging. Basically, if you get a bad draft, you lose. And I really don't like that about this. Because basically, the match is decided before it even starts, half the time. Because if you don't get who you want, aka who the best attackers are, and who the most annoying defenders are, you're not really gonna have much chance at winning. So this is why I started off kind of nervous, because it could literally go either way purely based off of luck. So here he starts off placing Dragon Man. I can see where he was going because my only counter is Gallon, and Gallon is absolutely correct for this. And I place Nick Fury just to stall, just in case he goes for the same thing, just to guarantee me the win on this one. And he goes for Hulkling, which honestly I think that was probably the best thing he could have done for me, since that gets him out of the way, and it also allows me to pretty much guarantee the win this round. So getting into this one, the plan is pretty much just to do what Gallon does, build up as much planetary mass as possible, enter harvest and then blow it up. The interesting thing about Gallon in this meta is that he doesn't gain the power burn harvest, or I can't remember what they're called, planetary mass, that's it. He doesn't gain those from power burn against mystics in this meta, which I think is completely balanced, because otherwise he'd literally destroy everything in a space of 25 seconds. So it's good to have at least a few matchups that aren't completely absurd. So here I just enter harvest. I think I've got enough to finish it, and I do, luckily. So that gets this out of the way. That gets that first round out of the way, and also gets rid of his Hulkling. So here I am feeling confident because he doesn't really have any counters to either Mojo or Rintra. And again, this is what I mean when I say it's fully draft dependent, this meta, because he didn't draft any of the champs that, or any decent counters to the defenders that I've got, and because of that, that's an automatic loss. Like he has nobody against Rintra, and I have at least one champ that can counter pretty much anybody that he's got. So he does pretty much the smartest thing he can do here and places Gallon in a second. Come on. There we go. And I was debating using Sim Supreme for it, but I ended up using Diablo, just in case this didn't go my way necessarily, and then Sim's better for Arcus and Surfer. So I'm not activating the Nullify pre-fight here because Gallon can't be nullified. So that basically just gives me a bit of a damage boost so that I can nuke him down quicker, instead of trying to build up so that I can play around the armor. The plan here is literally just parry heavy until he's down, and then I think I go for 2 special ones. I can't quite remember. Again, I'm sorry, this match was quite a while ago. I have been very behind on uploads. I'm going to try and hopefully get this all sorted by this week. So I might be a little bit sloppy when it comes to the memory on what's happened. But yeah, he's got his armour now, so there's not really much I can do. I just have to firm the power burn damage. And hope that I can get him down before he enters Harvest. And again, I'm sorry for the lag, as I put at the very start. I wasn't able to record this myself and stream it over Discord at the same time. So there is going to be some really bad lag throughout this, and also the quality of the video itself is going to be very low. So I do sincerely apologise for that. Hopefully I can get something sorted out soon, setup wise. I can't promise anything though. But yeah, that fight, it was about as smooth as it can go, really. I mean, if he hadn't have thrown a special one, then I would have had at least like 50% more health, but it is what it is. Right, while I'm here, I just want to talk about my bans real quick. I banned Sasquatch, Man-Thing and Super Skrull. Super Skrull is a pain in the ass this meta, and so is Sasquatch. Both of them are just really annoying, and I don't really want to deal with them. Man-Thing I probably could have left open, but I didn't want to risk him being an automatic loss if I didn't draft a counter. So, as well, you'll see that there is a Moron counter in the top left, and it's been there this whole match. I started off well, and then it went very far downhill. So you'll see what I mean when we get there. But the main thing is just to keep an eye on it throughout this, because this probably will be quite entertaining for you guys when it gets to the point which I'm referring to. And also, back to what I was on about before with the bans, I probably should have changed them up at least a little bit, because realistically there were other champs that B had in his deck that were a lot more problematic, and that's what I like about facing people like B, because they have very challenging rosters to plan around, especially in the heat of the moment. So I placed Nick Fury just to try and stall, and he places Mordo. I use Sim Supreme for this because I do actually feel comfortable with this matchup. And yeah, he goes with Howard the Duck. I think what he was trying to do here was time the special one perfectly so that he could prevent the second life from triggering with Nick, which is smart, but I'm not sure how practical it is. I think you'd have to time it pretty much perfectly to get it spot on, and that's pretty difficult to do, I would have thought. Again, I'm sorry for the lag, this is probably going to be a bit choppy. As well, one thing I will mention now that you guys will notice later on is that my internet just decides to crap itself halfway through this match. So again, when it comes to now and later on especially, I really apologise for the lack of quality. I will hopefully have something stream-wise set up soonish. I'll try my best to. Anyway, back to this fight. So this is a bit sketchy because Mordo's now at special 3. He's hard, like Mordo's really annoying to deal with, and you'll see that later on as well. But with Sim Supreme, I've got the damage cap buff on me, so I'm not too worried at the moment. Here I just throw on a special 2, try and time it perfectly so that it cancels out his power gain and also steals a lot of his power. But he is approaching a special 3. What I did, instead of letting my heavy attack just hit him and push him to 3 bars, I let the first heavy hit, used my striker to passively stun him, and then finish him off with a combo. I'll be honest, that's probably the highlight of this whole thing. That was probably one of the smartest things I've done pretty much this entire match. And also, I am assuming that everybody watching this has seen B's perspective already and has also seen, or have seen, Vega cover the match, because it was a while ago that this happened. I think it was, from the time I'm recording this, it was just over 2 weeks. And that's how far behind I've been on everything. I think at the time I'm recording this, we're just coming up under 2 weeks of this Battlegrounds season, so it's about a week and a half. Yeah, I think that's right. So here he places Null, and I place my thing just because I didn't see him have really a great counter. So I end up using Archangel here, just so that I can place my Mojo on defense round 3. And then also have an option for his Hulkling if he does place it. I just thought this would be the best option overall. So the plan here is literally just parry heavy, hope I get lucky, and if I can, bait special 2s. That's about all there is to it. First moral moment of the day, I missed a dash back and lost a good 5-6% of my health, which is actually pretty big when it comes to points in this, especially since he has King Groot, who can pretty much finish any fighter 100%. And you'll see here in a second. Wait for it. Come on, B. Anyway, I'll spoil it. He does finish this at 100%. Yep, there it is. And there was only a 1,000 point difference, which is a lot closer than I expected to be, honestly. Right, so round 3. I'm kind of liking the look of what I'm working with here. He starts off placing Thing, so I place my Korg. and he ends up using Crossbones for it, I think. Yeah, Crossbones. So I end up doing the same and using my Crossbones as well. Unfortunately, I only have a 5-star, which is irritating. The plan here is literally just to keep the Furies up as much as possible. So throw the special 1 here, get as many up as possible. Again, really sorry for the lag. I enter my overrun just to keep them built up. I think I counter this with a heavy. Yeah, keep it just to keep the Furies up for longer. I try to counter his heavies and specials with a heavy attack. Like there. I'm not good enough to start doing all these fancy stand-up intercepts. I know there are definitely players that are capable of doing it, I just don't have the timing down yet. Also, I don't think it's 100% safe to do. But that's just me personally. If you're confident doing that, then please, if you have any tips on it, please leave them in the comments. I'd love to know how to do it more reliably. But here, it's going pretty well so far. Nothing really too dangerous. I'm just taking a lot of chip damage from block. And he goes down. For this one, I thought it'd be best for me to place Weapon X, just because that forces him to use Warlock, and then I'm pretty sure I can deal with whoever he has left as a defender. So he places Mangog there. I use Titania for this. Titania has been very, 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 very hit and miss for me. She can either get things down in about 40 seconds after one special 3 and the heavy spam rotation, or, since mine's pretty much broken, they just start to throw special attacks even when they have the Intimidate debuff up, which is extremely irritating. So go for a heavy attack just to cancel out the armor up when he gets to 10 of those charges. Try to stick to bait in special 1s. Throw a heavy attack, yep. And then the plan here is literally just special 3, get the debuffs, or get pretty much every debuff in the game up, and then hopefully heavy attack chain and he'll be done for. So I think I'll go for 2 more hits here, yeah, just get as many Furies as possible. Special 3. Yeah, this is what I mean. He's got an Intimidate debuff up, and yeah, he throws a special 1 into me, and that just makes this whole thing go pretty much sideways. In other words, it's basically going to last about 40 to 50 seconds longer than it should, which in Battlegrounds is a hell of a long time. Get hit by the special 1 there. And you'll see here I just didn't play around the node, which is pretty bad. I also forgot to add a moron to eating the end of that special one. I don't know if I did that intentionally, I can't remember, but you know what, I'm going to leave it as it is. This was bad enough anyway. And now I'm just eating tons of power burn damage, and I'm going to time out. That shouldn't have happened, but I probably wouldn't have done it that well anyway, because we absolutely annihilated that fight. I'll be honest, I was not expecting that whatsoever. So here, B ends up placing his null. I think. Yeah, ends up placing null. So I placed my Nick Fury. And from how his first Hulkling, first Nick Fury went, I wasn't expecting this to be much different, just possibly finish with a bit more health. Also, we did this match before the neutralize bug was fixed, and you'll see that come into play massively in this match. Again, sorry for the lag. So what the plan here is just to keep the neutralize up pretty much, if I can, the whole fight. But I'm not really that good at playing Wiccan at the moment, so it's a little bit more challenging for me than it should be. But at the moment I'm not doing awful at it. My biggest mistake was not holding block and triggering that spell, because that would have mean the neutralize was paused and he wouldn't get this armor. Because he has the armor now, I'm just going to take tons of unnecessary power burn damage. Which is really unfortunate. Just basically trying to scrape whatever I can out of this. Again, this lag is pretty bad, I'm sorry about that. But he does end up going down, and I do lose about 40% health unnecessarily, and what do you know, that costs me the match pretty much. Yeah, that's really annoying. But it is what it is. I'm still in the lead at the moment, so I wasn't dwelling on it too much. I was just hoping that I can kind of make a comeback from it. Okay, next match. So I start off here by placing Mojo, and I think he places Terax first. Yeah. So for this, I end up going with Sigil Witch, just because I don't really have a good counter. I just wanted to get something out of the way for that. And Mojo is one that can't really be done by Gallon unless you really know how to play it and you really get lucky, which is why I went for Mojo there and not a later round, because I know I can win this one since he didn't really have a great counter to Mojo. I know I can win this round, but I have to use another one of my rounds to get rid of his Gallon, Otherwise, if he has his Gallon for round 3, it's pretty much an automatic loss for me. So start off here, literally just throwing some heavy attacks, keeping him as far away as possible while his rock field's up. Or a special one there. Get my, I think they're called Insanity up. Parry there to get rid of the armour. Knowing my luck, of course, gets the unblockable. Keep doing the tactic of literally just throwing heavy attacks and special ones while he has his rock field. Keep him as far away as possible. I had to be really careful there because another buff procced right as he got his armour. So if I'd have hit him there, that would just power burn me. Special 3 does a lot of damage. Big degen. I just need to hope that this finishes him off. And it doesn't quite. He's on 7% left. Throw a special 1, hope this crits. Doesn't. This guy's just refusing to die. Another 5 combo still doesn't get him down, and one more luckily finishes him off. And to my surprise, he actually nailed that fight. He pretty much did as much as he could there. And that was a lot closer than I was expecting it to be. So for this round, my thought process is just to throw. Get rid of his Gallon. Because he needs to win this. So he throws out his Venom Pool, which is quite smart, considering that he needs to win this round, but also has Gallon, so that's getting rid of a useless champ for him, while also guaranteeing him winning the round. Yeah, I throw down Terax there, just because I wanted to save Thing for the next round, and then I use Crossbones here because I don't need Crossbones for anything in round 3. So realistically, this has been probably the best case scenario for a throw for me. There's not really the game plan here, it's just wait, or basically play it out. Again, sorry about the lag. I'm just going to let this one play out because there's nothing really much special here. Now, this is the very interesting part, because he has nothing really for Thing, and I have at least some counter to everyone that he has. So what he does here is he places Mordo. Now the biggest mistake I make here is not banning his Mordo in the next game, because you'll see what happens here, and you'll probably get a good laugh out of it. So he uses Silver Surfer here. Realistically, I should win this because I do have the more favourable matchup by quite a long shot. So the plan here is literally just to play it as I normally would, build up to special 3, and then when I get there, I should just keep heavy spamming in the corner. So my speciality there, throwing heavies into midair, and then I get parried somehow. I'll be honest, I wasn't expecting that. And then Mordo being Mordo, he just doesn't throw his special. Double heavy resist, and he counters me, and then now he has an armor up buff because he threw his heavy attack. This is just going wrong in so many ways. I don't know what happened there. Yeah, I'm dead. I felt like I had awful input issues there, because I dashed in originally when he first dashed in at me and hit me, and then the time afterwards I tried swiping back and it just chained his combo into it. So I lose this round and this match, which I definitely should have won based off the matchups. But it is what it is. I'm not going to try and dwell on it too much. What I probably should have done is taken a couple of minutes, restarted my game, and let it all play out from there. Maybe the restart would have helped. Another mistake I make is not banning his Mordo, because he definitely caused me a lot of issues, and there he is. Yeah. You know what? Bad things happen. Crap happens to everyone. I'm not going to dwell on it too much. At this point, I'm really not liking the look of my draft so far. So, he places his Dragon Man, which is pretty smart, and I place my Korg in hopes that he uses his Gallon, because realistically, there's not really anyone else he has that counters that. But then he also has Archangel to counter anybody else that I've got. So just looking at this draft, I've pretty much already lost. I can always put up as much of a fight as I can, but yeah, just looking at how it's going so far, it's not looking good for me at all. I just need to hope he either really slips up, or he accidentally places one of the wrong defenders. I don't know. That's why I dislike this meta with a passion, because it's pretty much all draft dependent, whereas in the other ones you could have a bad draft and still pull it back if you played your cards pretty much perfect. With this, there's not really that comfort to play your cards right, because even if you do play them right, you still lose. Now with this one, what my aim is to get to a special 2 with 10 unstoppables. Oh, nice heavy into mid-air, you moron. Just keep the staggers up while making sure that he doesn't have an armor up. But with Mystic Dispersion and how much Dragon Man gains power, it's a bit difficult to do that. And here I just finish him off. That was probably the cleanest fight it could have gone, but I'm not beating 57,000 points. He's absolutely smashed that. And now he has Archangel for literally anyone I place. But at the same time, I do have the same situation. Apart from Sim Supreme. Not Sim Supreme. Apart from Hulkling, which I can use Wiccan for. But he places Mordo. And I'm probably going to add one to the Moron counter just because I didn't ban Mordo. There it is. And one thing I forgot that was absolutely essential for this is that after the buff, Mordo can't be affected by ability accuracy reduction. And that really, really screws me over in this one. I think this is also where my Wi-Fi started to kick out. Yeah, like, I'll be honest, I can't remember what happened here, but it was probably something bad, I don't know. I mean, it doesn't look like I've lost health yet. I think I must have thrown at least like 2 heavies into mid-air at this point already. But yeah, I've landed 9 hits, I have 2 neuros, and he's just not, like, the ability accuracy reduction is doing nothing. Yeah. It's annoying because I do want to cover pretty much everything when it comes to these Battlegrounds tournaments that I'm taking part in. There's one coming up soon against KT1, and that is genuinely the worst I have ever played in Battlegrounds, ever. But I'm still going to upload it. Just because entertainment, you know what I mean? But again, here, I am really sorry. This is what's wanted me to, like, really start focusing on getting a setup sorted. Because this is pretty much, like, this is unwatchable at this point. I'm really sorry. I won't blame you if you just clips off the video for now, because I don't think it gets any better, I'll be honest. Yep, and he's just stuck there. Something else happened there. Yeah, I've put it on the screen now. I don't know what's going on. Again, it's probably because I'm streaming overseas, and I think it was about 1:30 in the morning when I did this. But again, if I can get things sorted, I will, and it will be better than this. I really apologise for the quality here, but this is the last round. I'm 3-2 down, and spoiler alert, I do end up losing this. B is an incredible player, and I'm proud of him for winning this. I really hope he goes on to win this, and if not win, then at least put on a really good performance, because he can definitely do a better job of it than I can in this. So looking at the draft here, he has Hulkling and Archangel already. I've got Wiccan, which can counter Hulkling. He doesn't really have an option for Mephisto right now, but I go for Terax. Probably wasn't the best choice, but some of these, it was really irritating because I was clicking on champs and then thinking, oh no, I don't want those, I want this guy instead. The video doesn't show it because of how bad the lag is, but it is taking a lot longer for my champs to load in than, well, I say load in to the actual draft than it is for anything else. So you'll see here, I end up placing Terax first, but he has Gallon. I think I was trying to throw this one, since Gallon is, like, you're not going to beat him. If you're not against a Mystic, you're not going to beat Gallon. This is going to be another instance of me showing how broken my Titania is as well, because I think the exact same thing that happened on Mangog happens here as well. if you can actually see it. Again, I'm sorry that I'm uploading such a low quality video, but there's nothing I could do about this at the time, since there was a streaming requirement. But yeah, it's pretty much the same as always. You try and play around the node with the staggers, and throw a special 3 heavy loop, and hopefully that should finish it, but you can't really see that here, which is annoying. Nothing necessarily bad's happened so far. Throw a special 3, if you can even see the animation. But what happens here, I dash in, go to charge my heavy. He had 2 intimidates on him there, and he still threw it. I don't know. Yeah, and obviously he's got Gallon, he's gonna win this one. Now, this bit really frustrated me, because I noticed that I pretty much was forced to place a Mystic Champ on defense, because if I didn't, he had Torch. So I click Mephisto, and it just kind of freezes there. I click confirm, and it places Kingpin. I go back to Mephisto, and Kingpin's placed. Yeah, so pretty much I've either got to use a Mystic for Bishop, which is never a good idea, or I lose round 3 because he can place Torch on defense and I automatically lose. It all just kind of went sideways here. There was nothing I could have done here. Like B, 1 with the drafts, and 2, he played this so much better than I did. But yeah, that's about it. I mean, there's not really much more for me to say. I try as best I can for this bishop, but he doesn't want to cooperate at all, and it doesn't even get to the point where he can torch trap me, because he takes my Kingpin down a lot faster than than I take this bishop down. So B, if you're watching this, I'm really proud of you, buddy. Please go smash it in the next couple of rounds. And thank you all for watching this. I'm gonna leave it at that. Take care, and I'll see you in the next one.